reaction to Cesar Chavez that is very positive, and I think it's from the place of labor, right? We really stand with workers, poor folks. Anybody around here identify with that? Yeah? Okay? And that's wonderful, but as a Chicano studies teacher, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that Cesar Chavez wouldn't have come to this protest. And Cesar Chavez did not support undocumented immigrants. And Cesar Chavez weaponized the United Farm Workers to round up undocumented folks and turn them over to Border Patrol. And yet the city and county of Denver has given us, yes, to the homie's point before us, a revisionist, whitewashed version of history. And let me be clear about why they do this to us. They do it on purpose. It's not consequential that they tell us half of a person's history. Don't get me wrong, two truths can be evident at once, right? Cesar Chavez did do a lot, specifically for specifically for farm workers. But I think everybody here understands that liberation is not a zero-sum game. That we're not free until everybody is free.
That's right.
And I would more deeply push us to consider the idea that if our liberation, right, whether it be even in a labor movement, if our liberation requires us to look and act and talk and move like our oppressors, what freedom is it?
Right.
If we can only get a union, if we deport undocumented people, what worker power do we actually have? And I want to take it a step further, because I'm thankful that folks are here specifically for Jeanette, and it was wonderful to hear from her. I hope that we can also ground in the idea that there's not shit romantic about this. Her kids are up here talking to their mother over a phone, and we are cheering and doing whatever reasons that you came out today. It's wonderful that you're here, but it's tragic.
Yeah.
It's not shit romantic that you live stream this on Instagram. Instagram ain't gonna get us free. And so I hope that we can remember our positionality as we navigate these things, that it's wonderful that there's so much movement taking place. Frederick Douglass wrote, in the abolitionist movement of the 1860s, the only thing worse than rebellion is what causes rebellion. That we know people shouldn't be locked up in cages. That the same way that every Palestinian captured by the nation state of Israel is a political prisoner, every undocumented immigrant detained by the United States is also a political prisoner. Which is why we have to get out of this bullshit narrative that we like to put onto ourselves, that, oh, they're doing a good job, that only violent criminals deserve to be deported, that anybody deserves to be held in here. We can't fall for that. No deportations ever, at all. No separations of families. I can give a fuck what you did. And I mean that, because it is not that what we're seeing in the case of Jeanette is not a violent criminal. Jeanette is not somebody who committed a crime. Jeanette is a local activist mother who works at Target and was targeted because she is a threat to an imperial system. That is what's happening. And I say this specifically because I saw a sign earlier that says deport Elon Musk, right? And look, I get the notion, right? Nobody fucks with a billionaire, right? Like, I get that. But I want us to remember that if our freedom looks like our oppression, what freedom is it? Are we aspiring to just be the next level of whatever comes next? Or are we going to actually build something else? Abolition is not the work of tearing down the walls of a detention center. Abolition is the world building of a world without borders and anybody being detained in the first place.
That's right. Yeah.
And I will say, as I wrap up, because I got a tendency to get on a soapbox, and they got some sick ass shit here that I can't do. I hope that as you continue to come out to these things, that you can remember that no matter how cold it is, that no matter how windy it is, no matter how little flannel you brought, right, whatever it is, I bet you it's not as cold as it is in there.
Yeah.
I promise you that however little you ate today, it wasn't no 3 slices of bread, an apple, and a glob of jam that folks in here were fed 3 times a day last week, right? I hope that we can remember our positionality, because in the idea of why we must be critical of folks that we herald as heroes, our people need the truth more than we need heroes. We need the truth about where our heroes have been and why they were fucked up in the ways that they were, like Cesar. And we have to be truthful that not one of us is going to be a hero to anybody in this building either. No matter how many protests you speak at, organize, marshal at, what have you. All of us are interconnected in this and complicit in this until every single person in here is out. That's how it works. And so I hope that we can walk away with some truths today. And I hope that